Hey man, how you doing? Um, Today's gonna be a much simpler video than what my videos usually are. I'm just going to be talking to you about some quotes that have really helped change my life. And the way that I'm gonna format this, in case you want to like skip around or anything like that, you can understand where to go in terms of in the video. Is I'm gonna tell you the quotes. I'm gonna like maybe I'll give like a brief explanation of it just to make sure we're both on the same page on how we interpret it. And then I'm going to give you an example from my real life on how I've applied this quote and how that this quote has affected me in that moment. And ideally, if I do that, I'll be able to give you a better perspective on the quotes so that when you are in your own day to day life, you're able to very precisely use this quote to your advantage, right? But I'll go straight into it. In my walks, every man I meet is my superior in some way, and in that I learn from him. That quote is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And the quote is simple. It just means to have a student mindset, right? We probably both picked up on that. And this is something that has really helped me a lot. I've done my best to internalize this, and it is a very refreshing mindset to have when you are actively looking for something that you can learn right? If every single time that you meet someone, you are actively looking for what can I learn from this person? What do they know that I don't? Because obviously they have different experiences than you, right? So if you focus on only those experiences that they have, there's got to be something in there that you can learn from, right? And next one is from the play Hamlet, and it is there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. If you got any interest in Stoicism, this one will sound familiar, right? At least it'll sound, the concept will be familiar, maybe not the quote itself. But it's quite simple to understand, just stay neutral. And this one also is, I can relate to my job, right? I work as a food runner at a restaurant right now. And I used to work at this job before I left for college, and now I'm back for summer. I'm working at it again just to make some money over summer, at least until I can make myself a business and get set up in that aspect. But I used to despise going into this job. I would absolutely dread it. I would hate being there, man. Like I'm sitting there and I'm just thumping my head against the steering wheel, man. Like I really just did not want to work. I didn't want to be there. I just simply didn't enjoy the job. But I heard I read this quote and I would start to think about it in moments like that. And in moments wherever I was starting to be negative about something, I would think about this quote and I would be like, okay, it's negative, right? Like, I don't like this aspect of it. But there's another positive to go with that, right? Okay, I don't like being here at this job, but I am making money. And it's a much better job than some of the other ones out there, right? And I'll go straight into the third quote, right? This is from a very nice book, The Alchemist, and it's the possibility of having a dream comes true that makes life interesting. As I mentioned, it's from The Alchemist, right? If you haven't read the book, I'd recommend you go read it. I also have a video on this channel talking about one of the concepts from that book, and it's a concept that has really changed my life. I'd recommend you go watch that after this. But this quote is very simple and will give you a lot of benefits in your life by thinking about how much fulfillment you will get by having a goal to work towards. It's the simplest cheat code to being fulfilled is to just have a goal. Because if you have a goal, then you will be able to quite effectively always be able to work towards something. You'll be able to develop, you'll be able to see progress. You won't be stagnant. Maybe you'll plateau occasionally, but you won't be stagnant, and that will make you feel fulfilled. I promise you, 1000%. And I'm gonna go straight into the final quote of this video, and it is, "Don't criticize them. They are just what we would be under similar circumstances." That comes from Abraham Lincoln, and honestly, Abraham Lincoln's a G. That guy has a ridiculous mindset that I didn't even realize until I looked into him a bit. But this is a quote that I still struggle with, right? And it just is a matter of, oh, put yourself in their shoes. But that's difficult. That is very difficult to do, especially when it's somebody that has slighted you or in your mind, like, done something to annoy you, right? Like, I had a teacher that I asked a question. I sent them an email, right? And I asked them a question for like something about a final project, right? And they didn't really answer my question too well. And I followed up with them, and then they just never got back to me. And I was really, really annoyed thinking about this, right? Because here I am, just trying to do my project, trying to, be a good student. And this teacher that is supposed to help me isn't helping. But then this quote shows up into my head. And I think about, okay, what are they doing right now? Right now, they are probably grading the 70 something essays that she just collected, like literally 2 days ago, right? Like 75-page essays, like 70 or 80, right? That's like what, like 400 words? Jesus Christ, bro. Like, that is a ridiculous amount of paperwork, bro. Like, I cannot fathom how long that would take, especially if it's a good teacher, which they were, to be fair. Like a good teacher that they truly want to help these kids learn. So they are being like very scrutinous on giving them feedback. That would take forever. And it's like right before the weekend too. It's like a Friday night or something. I'm sure they're trying to finish up work so that they can go, enjoy their weekend with their family. Oh, God forbid. So when you think about that, it's really puts everything into perspective. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of like honorable mention quote, right? That goes along with this. And it is, people deserve very little credit for being the way that they are and for being who they are, right? Because if you think about it, we're all just a collective of our own experiences. What was your family like? Did you have a full family? Yes, like anything like that, right? What was your family like? What was your home life like? Did you have to work and everything like that? Like, what kind of like economic class were you in? The entire thing of nature versus nurture. That's what this is all about, right? And every single little aspect, the smallest little things, are going to determine who you grow up to be. So, but that is my last quote, though, right? That's the last thing I can really impart onto you guys. Um, what I'd recommend is if you like any of these quotes, put them on a piece of paper and tape them to your wall, ideally somewhere where you'd see it often. And if you guys have any quotes that you really enjoy, then put them down below. I'm very interested in seeing those quotes because I'm sure that if it helps you, it could probably help me as well, right? And regardless, leave a sub if you want to see some more of my videos, right? And that's all I really got for you, right? Try to internalize these as much as you can, because if you can manage to internalize these, the kind of empathy, gratitude, and growth overall that you will have will just be unparalleled, right? And regardless, though, I'll see you guys later. And remember, we're trying to become somebody worthy of being looked up to, all right? I'll see you.